Okay, so this creator writer Jamie Robbins dropped this video almost a month ago in info space. I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million. This one right here, and the video has performed so well that it has gained like 1 million views in just 60 days. It has changed the perspective of creating info content, and obviously we don't see this kind of reach in our industry, and especially this fast. So whenever this kind of video pop in front of you, obviously I gotta go through that what is making this go viral, right? So you can see that prior to this he was gaining an average views, actually good number of views, 34,000, 57,000, 75,000, and based on this we were expecting that this video will get maybe, if it's good, 100,000 or 150,000 views, but this went ballistic, 1 million views, I mean, in just 60 days. So there's something special in this video, and uh, I've kind of dissected this video, and the core concept is really really surprising here, and we kind of we are already using that core concept for some of our clients. And yeah, in this video what I'm going to basically do, I'm going to just break down this whole video, that why it has performed so well, and what made this video gain 1 million views in an industry, in a niche like info, which is almost dry. And yeah, let's just dive into it so that you guys can understand the core concept of the video and you can replicate it for your own industry as well. So what we are going to basically learn in this video is uh, again how this video was created, right? And based on that, again, this video right here has 4 rules in play, right? 4 pillars in play, which obviously the idea itself, what is the concept of the video, and the second is obviously the packaging, which is title and thumbnail. Third thing is it's scripting and the storytelling, the way it is delivered, and the fourth is the execution itself, the editing actually. So yeah, in this video we are going to basically learn all of this, that what kind of packaging it has, what kind of scripting, what kind of visuals, and how you can replicate this too, right? So let's talk about the idea first, right? What kind of idea we are talking about here. But before explaining all of this, let's just watch a couple of minutes of this video so that you guys can have some kind of context in your mind that what kind of video I'm talking about here.
There was a time not too long ago when I had $50 to my name. I was dressing up as a penguin while playing drums for minimum wage, getting home at 4 a.m, waking up at noon, vaping my brains out, and drowning in video games. I was skinny, broke, and feeling pretty stuck in life. Fresh out of uni, I thought I'd have the world at my feet. Instead, I was left wondering where I went wrong. I thought I'd go the traditional path, however, it didn't take long to realise that this wasn't for me. So there I was, in winter of 2022, going through old bank statements. I saw $45 spent on alcohol and thought, how the hell did I afford that? It really hit me. I was doing better financially the year before, back when I was dabbling in making money online, and I wondered, why did I stop? I'd given up on it, and now...
I think that's enough. You guys can actually watch this video. It's really popular right now, and you can easily search either the video or his channel. Well, anyways, up till now, I think you guys have some idea about the concept of the video, that what kind of topic it has, right? And what is Jamie basically talking about in this video. And yeah, let's talk about the idea, the concept first, and then I'll break down the other pillars of the video, all right? Like editing, scripting, and what kind of other pillars of the video which played a crucial role in making it viral. So before explaining the idea of this video, I want you to know that idea is made of basically three cores, right? The topic, the angle, the delivery, and based on the execution of these 3 cores, you can create a better idea, right? If you are measuring these 3 cores up to the mark, right, your idea is gonna perform. It has that depth, right? So what is topic? Again, I don't think I have to explain this. A topic is what the video is about, right? And in this case, we are talking about Jamie's video right here. I locked myself in a room. The topic is again his personal story about going from broke to making $1 million, right? This is the story. This is the topic that he thought that I should make a video about, right? So this is the topic, and again, the topic is quoted in a story, but still it's an info space, right? It's complementing his business. So the topic, and then we got the angle. Now this is really interesting. Now, if topic is something that what you are talking about, right? Angle is something that it's more like that how you're talking about, like how you're showing your audience, what kind of perspective you want audience to have, right? So angle is like how you're framing it to make it emotionally magnetic or visually unique, something like that, and what kind of angle he took from this video. Okay, so he framed it like an experiment, right? He framed it like a kind of like a challenge. He had an option, right? He could have executed this video. Uh, one of the angle could have been like he could sit in front of the camera, right, and just talk about talk about his story, that how he went from being broke to making $1 million, right? Which is like 80% of the creators are doing, right? But he chose a different angle. Rather than talking about it, he actually showed, right? And he experimented like kind of a challenge, right? I locked myself in a room until you can see that the kind of angle that he's showing for the audience here, that one of the decisions that he made in order to grow, which was locking himself in a room. Obviously, it is not literal. I'm gonna dive into it later in this video, but the angle he showed, that from the sacrifice point of view, right? That he sacrificed this, and he basically, he upped the stakes. Right? He's sacrificing something so that he make $1 million. So yeah, this is the angle that he basically uh, injected in his video, and he wanted the audience to look at his story from that perspective. So full marks to the angle right here. As for the delivery, again, delivery is something that how you're presenting that angle. If I have to put it simple, right? And again, no talking head, all the storytelling is shown, not shown acted out cinematically. I'm gonna dive into it later in this video, that how this delivery is really really interesting, because again, one delivery could be maybe you're using some kind of lifestyle footage, and you added some kind of AI based voiceover, right? Or maybe you are sitting in front of the camera like Iman or any other big creators, right? And you're just talking about your story. You can do that as well. But again, the delivery was something that it was not gonna break any pattern, right? So he kind of added a storytelling. He, rather than delivering it in a I'd say general delivery style, which is the talking head on everything which is going on right now in info space. He chose to go as with cinematic style, right? He kind of created a short film around his story. So yeah, this is how he delivered this piece of content, and why it worked. Again, the topic was personal but valuable. Everyone wants to know how someone made $1 million. Again, so the topic was very interesting, and he quoted his business in his story. So it is like 20% about his business and 80% about his story. But again, it's more about that how much traction you are getting, right? And obviously, someone's relating to your story. He or obviously he or she will be curious about your business as well. Like what made him change. So the angle again, I've explained the angle, made it visual and emotional, locking himself in a room, metaphor for sacrifice. He used this perspective, right? And the delivery broke the norm, cinematic visuals, not YouTuber style talking heads. He basically, break the pattern here, and inspired from broad creators. This is really interesting. Pull the strategy forward from Mr. Beast, Ryan Tran, but applied it to a personal so into info space. Now, I'm gonna explain this as well, because this idea is actually, if you look at this packaging, right, it is sort of similar to the creators who are in the entertainment niche, like Mr. Beast, Ryan, and some other creators. Like, because we've seen a lot of videos from them based on these packaging. I'm gonna explain this in the idea section. Okay, so yeah, this is why the concept had that depth, and it was strong from the base, right? And after the idea, uh, he jumped onto the packaging, obviously. But before jumping into the packaging, title and thumbnail, I want you to know that how you can replicate this to any niche, right? So this is actually a framework here. Again, I sacrificed, committed to something is extreme until a meaningful result. This is the basically a structure that you can use in order to, uh, I'd say that uh, push your idea more, enhance your story more, right? Try to try to if you have some kind of a story where you have a struggle in the past, but you have made it to some goal. For example, in this case, Jamie made $1 million, right? And the struggle he went through was a lot, maybe, and one of them he mentioned that he locked himself in a room, and it was one of the decisions that he made in order to grow $1 million, right? But the thing is that if you watch this video, didn't literally lock himself, right? If I'm comparing this video to the Mr. Beast video, right, where Mr. Beast or any other big creator, right, in the creator of entertainment each day, what do they actually do? They actually lock themselves in a prison or something like that for certain days, right? But he used this as metaphorical, right? And you can do that as well. For example, if you're struggling in your past life, in the past days, like maybe you were working 9 to 5 job, right? And you are also doing your maybe your SaaS, your any software, maybe you're some kind of business, and you can point that out. Maybe you cut some people, right? This is all a part of yours. Everyone's a story if you're struggling, because let's say if I'm struggling, right, and I'm working hard, obviously I'm gonna have to cut. I'm gonna have to cut my fun time off. I'm gonna cut people off, right? I'm gonna I'd say that maybe I'm gonna lock myself in a room metaphorically, not literally, obviously, but you have to take something out of your story which you can package it metaphorically and then frame it, right? So this is going to be your way of enhancing your concept of the video, right? This is how you can ideate better, right? And for example, like I train like in fitness needs, I trained like a Navy SEAL for 30 days while running my 9 to 5 job. You can see that it has some kind of depth here, right? A story of pain, discipline, and transformation, not just sophisticated log. Example two, in marketing niche, I rewrote 100 emails in just 7 days until I cracked a 60% open rate. Again, similar concept. Uh, in coaching niche, I coached 50 strangers for free until someone paid me $10,000. Built-in challenge, credibility, create transformation. So you can see that it's all about the framework. That if whether your idea has that kind of depth or not, and you can watch this video, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. And yeah, this is how you basically nail these three course: topic, angle, and delivery. And make sure that angle is something which you most focus on, because that can literally change the perspective of your video. And again, final tip: don't just teach your framework, live it, document it, frame it as a sacrifice of some other metaphor. Doesn't have to be sacrifice necessarily. Make the journey visual, make the commentary feel insane. That's what makes the content go bad. So yeah, this is what how he ideated. Basically, this is how this video is actually ideated. And after this, let's talk about the packaging, the second core here, which is title and thumbnail. The second pillar, which played a crucial role in making this video viral. So packaging are two steps here: title and thumbnail, and you can see that how it is executed. Uh, Title and thumbnail, and it's really complementing each other. And let's talk about the title first. Again, because the idea itself was really, really interesting, and it was kind of opening up big curiosity loop, right? I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million. It's really interesting to listen to, right? I would click this. So yeah, this is what he basically structured accordingly. For example, challenge style plus metaphor. I've explained this in the last section, an idea that what kind of formula is being used. So he kind of used a similar concept from his idea and didn't alter anything, because that idea itself was really strong. Again, audience wants to know how he made $1 million. Exaggeration with intent, locked in a room. Again, I've mentioned that how he added this urgency, locked in a room. He used this metaphor. You can use any other metaphor which you have gone through, any decision that you have made in order to dramatize your content, right? You can do that. Make sure that it's not clickbait, right? Because if I have to talk about this title, right? I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million. Now, a big number of audience, while clicking on this video, right? They would have been thinking, right, that they are going to actually see a person locked himself in a room and working hard till he made $1 million, because this is the perspective that we have gained from the videos of Mr. Beast and some other big creators, that what they actually do, they kind of do the similar stuff, right? So, but in this video, he's just kind of telling his story, that how he made $1 million, and locking in a room was kind of a general step that he took by cutting people off, going, uh, isolating himself from the people and the noise. That's the metaphor he used. So maybe a lot of audience would be thinking that they will watch some kind of Mr. Beast style here, but the execution is different, and the execution is so on point, right? And even if you've clicked this video, I mean, you're expecting something else, you will still engage with this video because it is satisfying the audience, and somehow it's complementing the title, and it's justifying each and every packaging. I'm gonna explain the execution in the next slide. And yeah, so this is what he actually did here. The title, I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million. You can do that as well. Just make sure that if you're exaggerating some kind of intent, make sure that your execution is up to the mark as well. Because again, you don't want your audience to clickbait. This is very a risky decision right here, because it's a thin line here. So yeah, you can do that as well. That's the main essence of the title here. Lock myself in a room. Challenge titles is equal to proven performance, right? Again, as I mentioned, that this kind of packaging is already being used by big creators, so it's a proven framework, right? Uh, Let me just show you some of the videos which I'm talking about here. I survived 50 hours in maximum security prison, survived 100 days in nuclear bunker. I survived 7 days in an abandoned city, right? So the core concept of the video is basically, generated from here, these kind of videos. And I survived 50 hours in Antarctica. And so you can see that you can find a lot of these kind of videos from some other creators as well. If this is the background I'm talking about here, and you can see that these are the proven performance, right? The proven frameworks. So you can, get inspired from the broader niche as well, which is really interesting. And you can see that masterpiece that Jamie created right here. So yeah, make sure that even if you're doing it, just make sure that do not clickbait the audience. Just make sure that if you are executing, if you're using some kind of title, right? It must complement your whole execution of the video as well. So yeah, this is another thing which is broad title, and I feel like that this is really played its part because uh, again, if I have to tell you about his niche, right? The niche of Jamie Robbins, uh, the industry that he is in is drop shipping, e-commerce, right? And you can see that the video title is "I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million." Now, a lot of creators right here, maybe from eCom space, they could have ideated this video like "I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million from my stores, from my Shopify stores." Right? You getting my point? What he actually did here, he enhanced his story and his business in general rather than talking about a specific industry, because he didn't want it, like he didn't want to niche down. So what he actually did here, uh, he brought in his title. I love my. He's not talking about an industry. He's not calling out any any uh, any market, something like that. No, he is just talking about his life and how he made $1 million. Money is something which is broadly relatable to everyone, right? And the challenge is also, so that I think this is one of the reasons the video has gained 1 million views, because there are a lot of audiences out there. Maybe I'm not a coding person. If the video popped in front of me has a coding in title, there's a big chance that I'm not going to watch that video, because it's the topic is something which I'm not familiar with, and I don't take interest in a lot. So yeah, that this is one of the reason that the title has played its part, because it was broad and he didn't niche down on this part, and the videos performed really well. Again, I have to mention that inspired by viral formats for creators like Mr. Beast, Ryan, etc. Now, why it works? The title implies a challenge with a reward. It's metaphorical but not misleading. I've explained this. He uses the room as a symbol for deep focus and hustle, because it's positioned like a literal challenge. It grabs attention, but the execution delivers the message, making it known clickbait. Now, this is the execution style that he actually used here. And the thumbnail strategy. Let's talk about thumbnail. Thumbnail is something which is clean, and it is really popping out. And you can see that 3-layered thumbnail here, and with a copy locked in, and you can see that the notification of Shopify right in the middle and below, and the color combination he used is again a red, black, and which is and the text is in white, so which is it's basically popping the text out, and it's easy to read. And you can see that if I'm talking about the title here, I lock myself in a room. You can see that the title here and the thumbnail is actually showing some signs of it, because you know that uh, we can see he's in room on the right picture here, right split here. In the middle, we can see that as well. On the left side, we can also see he is in some kind of in a room, and the arrow is actually showing that locked in, so making it assure that yeah, I am locked in. So this is the visual hierarchy which is being used in this title, and the color combination is really up to the mark. If I have to show this video on the channel, you can see that the color is actually popping out, and I can literally read the text from right here, right? I don't actually have to zoom in. So yeah, this is executed up to the perfection, and it's complementing the title uh, at its finest. So yeah, this is the thumbnail strategy. You can use that as well. Text overlay locked in. As for the again inspired from broader niche, as I've explained this part from YouTube videos. Now, how you can replicate this for your own niche? Again, think of sacrifices or environment that symbolize your journey. Make sure that what kind of journey you had if you're executing this kind of a story idea, right? Try to exaggerate some kind of a decision that you have made in order to hit certain goal, but make sure the execution is not clickbait, right? It's not clickbait kind of. So examples could be I wrote cold emails for 30 days straight in my bedroom. Here's what happened. I stopped using social media until I closed my first 10K client. I built my funnel inside a coffee shop and make $5,000 before I left. Now, this is really interesting. The last one is really interesting. Uh, if you're in, funnel building niche, right? You can use this idea. I built my funnel inside a coffee shop and made $5,000 before I left. Now, this is again, these are just titles. If you have some kind of a story behind, like which is resonating with this kind of title, right? Then you can obviously utilize it, but don't just copy it. Obviously, understand the essence of these titles, right? They are telling some kind of a story. So start with the results you want to highlight. Uh, this is the same structure that I've just shown you in the last slide. I insert symbolic isolation challenge. I do this. I challenged until I achieved results. So this is the structure you can basically use. For example, I built my funnel inside a coffee shop. That's the challenge, right? And the result, and made $5,000 before I left. So this is the structure that you can use in order to execute this kind of titles. Again, tied to my metaphor constraint, lock in a room, no Wi-Fi, on airplane mode. It could be anything. It could be anything, right? Even the simplest thing that you can think of, like, yeah, I can mention this in my video, right? It can hook the audience. Use it. You can see that no Wi-Fi could be a fun thing, right? No airplane mode. It can also be used. Uh, so this is, make sure that your title has this essence. As for the thumbnail, shows you in the constraint. Use one bold phrase, locked in or no internet. I think that you guys can still play with the thumbnail. It depends on the and on the idea that you have, right? You don't actually have to execute a similar thing. I think that thumbnail can be executed better than this, I feel like. So you can go for a progress thumbnail, maybe, like or maybe you can show something else. Just make sure that it complements the title. That's it. So this is how the video has been packaged. You can see the title and thumbnail right here. So up till now, we understand that what kind of idea and concept this video has, right? And what kind of packaging Jamie used in order to grow this video. And let's talk about the scripting and the story technique, which is very interesting here. And I'm going to tell you a story technique that he used in order to, execute this whole masterpiece. There is a storytelling technique that he actually used here, which is also being the main player in the scripting as well, which is called show don't tell, right? Now, before explaining this, let's watch the video again for a minute on. So this is what show don't just tell is. The script in this video is written to be seen, right? Not spoken at. So it's against the, it's not executed in a typical way that we usually go through the videos, the informative videos in info space, right? It's way different from those kind of videos. And you can see that there are no talking heads. The story plays over lifestyle visuals, walking alone, working away, journaling is across. And so instead of saying I was lost, we see Rio was actually lost, right? This builds emotional immersion. So this is how the scripting and the storytelling of this video is executed. He didn't talk about any of this stuff. He didn't stand in front of the camera and talk about his story, his decisions. He reacted, right? He reacted his story. He reacted each and every step that he took, right? And that's how he sort of created a short film about his challenge, his story. And you can see that it's against the masses, and we don't see these kind of videos a lot in our space. So that's why audience actually enjoyed this piece of content. And why it works, again, visuals communicate emotions faster than dialogue ever could. Again, it's a fact. Visuals can communicate emotions faster than dialogue ever could. How to replicate? If you're rap scripting or voiceover, ask, can I show this emotion or idea instead of stating it? Just ask yourself this question. You will understand that how much is out there which you can actually show, you know. And example, for example, instead of saying I was burned out, show dim workspace, unfinished coffee, phone runner, clever, anything like that. Even if you're executing some kind of case study, right? Let's say that we have you made your client a certain amount, or maybe you have helped him lose some weight. If you're in fitness, if you're in fitness niche, you can react that case study, right? You can show that in real that how you're actually doing it. It's easy to execute it. You can do that. And yeah, this is what show don't just tell is, rather than talking about it, just show. And again, this was the main essence of the video, which turned this informative video into a whole film. And another thing which is really important here, the chapter based narrative, right? The video is actually using a chapter very smartly here, because you can see that we got I guess 7 to 8 chapters right here, maybe 9, and each chapter is not longer than uh 50 to 60 to 70 seconds, right? It's a minute and a half, hardly. So it's sort of creating that you know not letting the audience move away from the video. After every chapter, the new chapter begins, and the scripting which is done for each chapters right here is up to the point. You can see there are chapters: intro, the wake up call, the transformation, locking myself in a room, again complementing the title, launch day, locking myself in a room again, 1 year later, lessons I've learned. So these are the chapters that he come up with, and the chapter based narrative here is really giving audience the vibe that what they're in for, right? And it's sort of creating some kind of a Netflix experience rather than a TED talk, you know. And how can you can applicate, again, structure your script according to the student that you have, right? Break down your story into chapters, and make sure they are not longer than 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 3 minutes hardly. If you're executing some longer video, again, the longer the video that you're executing, obviously you have to be better at storytelling at that pace. Uh, the video that Jamie created is around 10 minutes long. So, you know, for that kind of video, everything which is executed, the chapters, the strategy, each and every part is measured up to the mark. So just make sure that if you're creating a long video, longer, like maybe 30-40 minutes video, make sure that you work on the visuals and the chapters, each and every stuff, so that audience don't get bored throughout the video. And another thing which is really important, I feel like that the whole scripting and the storytelling, uh, you know, get a lot from this step right here, which is hook plus rehook. Again, the story opens with an internal tension. You can see that the story, when we start this video, right? It starts with the problem that he has, right? With the issue that he is facing right now, and he build up that tension, and then give the context of the video, that what he was actually doing, right? And you can see that every 1 to 2 minutes there's a new challenge or shift, again the new chapter, right? And the formation of the scripting is something like he's rehooking you in every chapter his own challenge, his own win, right? And after while ending the chapter, you can see that the new challenge has already begun for the next chapter, right? So it's like, you know, if I'm watching chapter 2, I'm gonna have to chapter 3 in order to get satisfied, because there are some kind of, I'd say that, uh glimpses of chapter 3 as well, like what kind of challenge I'll be facing, right? So there's a hook and a rehook, which is really important, and it helps audience to stay on the video. And you can see that he's working alone. This is one of the pattern that I've noted. He's working alone, launches, fails again, recovers, reflects. You can see that the audience cannot get satisfied in the middle of the video. There is no way you can. You have to watch the full thing in order to get satisfied that, yeah, I've ended this thing, right? And now I'm satisfied. The rhythm is challenge, action, reflection, next challenge. This is the rhythm which is actually being used in every chapter of the video, right? It's not used once, it's used like 8 to 9 times in the video. And that's why I think this is one of the main backbone of the video, that how it is scripted as, you know, creating some kind of a challenge within the challenge. So again, yeah, make sure that if you're scripting, do not go in a typical way, in a typical hero's journey, right? Face the challenge, work hard, and get to the point where you are. This is something which is everyone is doing, and audience already know your script, right? If you're talking about your hero's journey, you've done that, you've done this, right? I know you're facing a struggle, you're gonna win. Everyone knows you're gonna win, right? But if your story has some kind of, ups and downs in every chapter of your video, and every part of your video, then audience is gonna stick to it, because the suspense, what's gonna happen next, how he's going to overcome that challenge. Yeah, this is the strategy which Mr. Beast uses. Again, Mr. Beast and some other big creators as well. And you can see that they have challenges in their main challenges, right? Within their challenges. So just make sure that you hook and rehook throughout the video, and how to replicate with your story, with emotions, ups and downs. Don't front load wins. Make people earn the payoff by going through setbacks, right? If your video is being totally watched by the audience, they have that kind of feeling, yeah, they earned this payoff, right? Also, let's talk about visuals and editing. Now, the type of visuals that he used in this video is obviously the cinematic style, and you can see that how well it is executed. It's actually a short film on his story, and we have seen a lot of other creators in face space as well, who are using similar kind of strategy, right? Rather than sitting in front of the camera talking about your stories, which is the typical way, they use a cinematic way of telling your story, right? And as we know that, and as we know that YouTube is actually, competing with Netflix right now. So this type of content is actually helping the overall platform grow as well. So this is cinematic style is really, really in the trend right now. You can use that, and this video has that style. And again, these shot that he created, right? Each and every shot of this video is up to the mark. Each shot matches the emotions or idea being narrated. It's simple as that. If you're hearing some kind of dialogue, right, there's no way the shot that is on the screen is not complementing the dialogue, right? Your ears and your eyes are matching the rhythm of the video. This is how well it is executed. It's not a random B-roll, it's intentional. It is designed to show the internal state of a narrator. He's narrating his story, and you can literally dive into his story. Why it works, it feels raw yet polished, not like a blogger, but like a visual journal. And how to replicate, use scenes from your daily life, but matches them to emotional beats, right? Example talking about burnout, show midnight work sessions, coffee cups, pacing. I think these are easy to execute. You just have to understand that, what kind of execution you're looking for. Now, high pacing. This is very important. The another aspect of the video editing right here. The editing switches shorts roughly every 8 to 10 seconds, right? The video is 10 minutes long, but the number of shots that is being added to this video is countless, because every shot is changed after 8 to 10 seconds. Shots changing very quickly, and which is creating, which is not letting you drop from the video, because we know that the attention span is uh, almost none right now. And because he's just breaking the pattern after 8 to 10 seconds, you know that what kind of shot is gonna come, right? What kind of dialogue is gonna be there in the next couple of seconds. So This is really interesting. And the pacing isn't chaotic. It feels like a movie. After when we hear that every scene is being switched after 8 to 10 seconds, the first thing is obviously in our mind is that it's maybe some kind of a chaotic version of the video, right? But it's not. It's like a movie, and the music has performed really well here. And I'm going to talk about what kind of music he used here. Again, why it works, it balances cinematic patience with social media pacing. When editing switch shots every 8 to 10 seconds, unless you're building tension, make sure every cut reflects the emotion of the line being said. You can execute this accordingly, right? If you want to replicate this pacing, make sure that uh, have the main essence of this video, right? What kind of uh, execution that he has gone for, like 8 to 10 seconds short switches and shots matching your scripts, all of those stuff. As for the orchestra style music, this is a third thing which actually helped this video perform really well. And I feel like if this video haven't had this kind of music, orchestra style music, right, this execution and the final product obviously would have been way different of what it is right now. Because music which is used here is "I'll Be Seeing You" by Billie Holiday, and the tracks is it's adding some kind of a nostalgia, soul, and depth. Feels like a farewell letter, right? Or maybe some kind of orchestra short film, right? Why it works, it makes the video feel bigger than YouTube, almost like a Netflix short, right? If you're watching this video as a viewer, uh you know you can feel that your click is getting paid off, right? Because the piece of content is actually helping you relax and enjoy as well, not just giving information and telling the story. Again, it's a piece of art right now. How to replicate? Pick a score that feels like the story. Don't go for trendy. Go for the tone. Again, make sure that if the sound is trending, you don't have to go for just for its trend. Just ask yourself, would this song exist in a movie about this moment? Just ask yourself, would this song exist in a movie about this moment? And then based on that, use that in your video. Now, yeah, this is what is actually happening in the visual editing part of the video. And on-screen captions, I feel like that you can see that there's nothing special to talk about it. It's just complementing the whole video. The coloring of the font is really, really interesting. And yeah, this is how this video is executed. And the four core pillars of this video I have explained: idea, the packaging, the scripting, and the storytelling, and visuals and editing. So this is how this video is executed, and it has gained like 1 million views. And I hope that you guys can learn something from this video and execute something similar by getting inspired from this concept, because I have, and we are creating some kind of video for our client as well based on this concept. So yeah, and by the way, if you want this document, you can maybe check the description or comment ID. I'll send it to you. Hopefully it helps. And yeah, let's see you in the other video. Signing off.